all of these elements before us, and we would see imbalances. We'd see a tree that was brittle and dry and it needed more water, or we might see an abundance of water and it's overflowing and it's pulling down the earth, and it's you know, creating landslides. You know, we've been having extreme weather here in Australia, and it's just a reflection of what we are feeling inside at times as well. And yeah, it's no doubt, it's not surprising me that we're now reclused, we're stuck inside, and we're, you know, here just recovering in a way. Like we're not working, we're not having to pull back. And that's something that I say to a lot of my clients, is it's time for you to pull back and really simplify your life and really redirect your spirit and yourself to what's most important in your world right now. So when we think of a strong immunity, we do look a lot at the earth element. The earth element is all about our digestive system. We look at the meridians, the energies of the spleen and the stomach, and specifically for the earth. And when we're eating food, it's transformed and it's absorbed through these systems, and we call this energy from our food, it's called Gucci. And so this Gucci is what spreads through all of our body, through our blood, and nourishes us. When we are identifying if our immune system is weak or if it's strong, you know, the earth element will start to display symptoms or signs in the body, like loose stools, constipation, fluctuation of your stools, lethargy, poor concentration, bloated stomach, flatulence, and weak muscle tone. If you're really not creating muscle, then it's a lot to do with your earth energy. And yeah, so if we want to see our earth energy strong, then we will have high energy, high vitality, strong muscles, and regular, you know, daily, defecation. So 3 times a day is ultimate, but we're told in normal medicine is that we have 1 poo a day, and that's all we need, even though that we're having 3 meals a day. So I really advocate for more poos. Bryre, did you want to cut in or ask anything?
No, I mean, if I go on the poo topic, I'll be here for like so maybe carry on.
Yeah, okay. So that's one system that is quite pivotal, our digestive energy, and also the foods that we select, obviously. So in Chinese medicine, we say to avoid too much cold. So that might be cold things like smoothies or cold drinks or ice, or even bananas. Bananas are cold in quality, and also they're damp. So we try and avoid damp, sticky foods like banana. We try not to indulge in too much sweet, but the stomach and spleen, the digestive energy really, really loves sweet quality food. So we love like sweet potato and pumpkin, and sorry, something just went funny, and root vegetables. So things that grow close to the earth really nourish our earth energy. Zucchini as well, onions, radishes, like all of that is so immune boosting and so fantastic. A thing that's really important, another aspect of Chinese medicine, is that we cook our food really well and with a lot of love and with herbs, so using spices. And I'm sure Bryre will go into some spices with you today, because I personally do go by a lot of the Ayurvedic cooking, and I love Ayurvedic spice and how that really enhances our digestive fire. There's also other parts of supporting our immune system, and specifically our earth energy, is doing self-massage. It's a practice I did for quite a while. At one point, And now I do it as often as I can with my 3-year-old running around in the morning. But it's usually a morning practice, and I know Bryre is really an advocate for it as well. But doing self-massage is just an incredibly supportive, regenerative practice. And you really get to know your body. You're really in touch with yourself. You're really grounding. It's really grounding to touch and hold yourself, and massage and feel where sore, and really loosen your body, and then follow that with meditation or yoga, or a walk on the beach. A walk in nature is super grounding. Beach, forest, whatever you are closest to. And yeah, modifying your diet according to season is really important for the immunity, for the digestive system. And not eating too much cold in winter, and eating lots and lots of soups in winter, lots of ginger and warming things. And then in summer, you can have a little bit more salad, and definitely more fruit, and but still having a good balance of a bit of both if you do have a lower immunity or digestive system. And this theme, the earth energy loves comfortable spaces and environments. Warm friends and family really nourish the earth energy. I really, when I'm with my clients one-on-one, I really go into these aspects of people's psychology, I guess, like really thinking about how we place ourselves in the world, and what really gives us vitality, and really asking the questions like, are these relationships really supportive, or where do I really want to spend most of my time with? And connection's such a big part of who we are as humans, so I love to talk about that when it comes to the earth energy. I hope I'm not just like rambling too much. And I hope this is really exciting as it is for me. As I see people living certain ways, and we get a bit robotic as humans. We're really good at that. And then we're kind of like, oh, I've got to change that up a bit, I've got to change, the way that, I'm using my energy. I'm putting too much there and not enough here. And just really realizing that is a really, really easy and quick way to support ourselves. The metal element is really important in these times. So the metal governs the lung and the colon. And the metal element governs the skin as well. And the hair and nails. So if you find your nails or your hair are really brittle or flaking, it might mean that your metal element is weak. And if your skin is breaking out and you're feeling really irritated on your skin, then it's because the metal element is compromised. The most superficial energy that our body holds is the Wei Qi, and the Wei Qi is it's created by the lung, and it supports our outer field. So it's our immune defense, really. And so if our lung is feeling deficient, then we might be more susceptible to viruses and flus and things like that. So let's say good ways I feel to tonify the lung. Personally, I use herbs; they're great, and acupuncture. But also, like, the lung is all about our truth. So vocalizing our truth. I find so many of my clients come in with a sore throat. That's usually where it begins, like the coronavirus. Starts with a sore throat, and then it might sort of spread more deeper into the lung and things. So I really question my clients and say, is this something that you're not saying, is something that you need to say to somebody in your life, or even yourself? Be really honest. So when we speak our truth, we can really support our lung. And if you're feeling pent up energy, it's really nice too to scream into a pillow or into the ocean. That really can release the lung and open it up. But more in a nourishing way would be to sing and to laugh and to use your voice in a way that's resonates in a higher vibration. But I definitely condone people to scream and to let out some extra pent up energy. What else? Enemas. I think Bryre might mention a little bit about enemas. Enemas are great to support the colon, where the poo comes out. So that would, like I said, the lung and the colon, they're yin and yang, so they fall under the lung, the metal element. So while we might have lung constriction or lung pain, like bronchial inflammation or congestion, then a lot of the time our colon is also being affected, because it's like the pairs, it's the yang to the yin of the lung. So once we address the colon, then we're really supporting the lung as well in that immune function. The colon's obviously about letting go. So if we're constipated for days on end, then it's really not supporting us. There's a lot of toxins being like held in the body, and you're just not letting go. And that might be metaphorical too in your life. You might need to let go of things that are stressing you, things that aren't supportive. It's really a great process to let go and to move on and open up to what you're really ready to receive as well. Anything you'd like to say, Bryre? Hello?
And I just want to know, in terms of Chinese medicine, the origin of Chinese medicine, can you, a little bit of the philosophy behind it? Because obviously Ayurveda and Chinese medicine have been around for thousands and thousands of years, so they've stood the test of time in terms of their healing modalities. Even though the masculine medicine has come into play, the roots of Chinese medicine, like what, can you give us I would love to know some more information on that, because obviously it's very similar to Ayurveda, but just different branches of the tree.
Absolutely. Acupuncture and Chinese medicine dates back to prior to Christ, 3,000 or 4,000 years. There's a few different theories on how far back it dates, but it was interesting in my studies. I remember reading around the meridians and how they were developed or found. There was a couple of theories. One was that there were the monks, they meditated and they were feeling the meridian lines and the energies moving through the body, and later they documented the points within the meridian. And then there was another theory that the medicine man or woman that was treating, was concerned or wanting to support people who are sick around them, that they started pressing points on the body intuitively, and then they were finding that certain points were activating different healing system, and then they documented where the points were and found the meridians. So that's one part of Chinese medicine. But it's definitely, like I said, it's a lot to do with the 5 elements, and the philosophy of Chinese medicine is really all based on our landscape, the earth we live on, and all of the points along the meridians are like valley and river and mountain. And that's what our body looks like. If we really look at, the creases of our elbows, it's like a big pool. It's like a river, a pool, like a little hole there, or so it just, he just goes into that poetic nature. The Chinese have always been, I guess, like very auspicious as well. So they're very auspicious and really, in a way that they're auspicious around, health and spirit. So there's a lot of spirituality within the medicine, such as Ayurveda as well. But it slowly came into the West only in the last 100 years. So I feel pretty fortunate to be able to give treatment and give such an amazing modality that's thousands of years old. Is that okay?
Oh. Let's see if we missed anything. That's cool. Are you finished? Are you want to say anything else? Or?
That's all fine. Yeah, I'm ready for questions as well, if anyone wants to open up now or later.
I think maybe we do questions at the end, just to
do it at the end. Cool. Yeah, no worries. Cool.
Thank you, Candy.
Over to you, Bryre. Thank you, honey.
Big love. Hopefully we can get your video working.
Yeah, I don't know.
I see some very friendly faces, so a few of my clients are on board, which is amazing. Just a quick intro about me. I'm an Ayurvedic lifestyle practitioner, so I help people with all kinds of digestion, skin, purpose, anything that's basically making us feel out of alignment, physically, mentally, emotionally. And, in Ayurveda, the biggest thing, the three pillars of life, and this is all to do with our immune system and how we are flowing with nature. And the three pillars of Ayurveda are food, sleep, and sex. This one might perk your ears up a little bit. So it's really important that we have all three running optimally for our immune system, for our energy levels to be thriving. And often we say this, like, are you thriving or just surviving? Now have a think about your life, like out of all the areas, food, sleep, sex, we all need all three, even sex, otherwise no one would be here. Which three are you maybe lacking that may be relating to your immune system maybe not being as strong as you'd like? And you can notice this in your life. If you're having colds regularly, if you're feeling lethargic, if you're having digestive issues, if you're just having, lacking in pleasure. Like, we are, as tantrikas, as yogis, we are here on this planet to experience pleasure. And a big part of that in Ayurveda is called ojas. And that is just basically our immune system and our luster for life. It's that shining, sparkling energy that we all, when you meet someone for the first time, I don't know if you've experienced that, and you just have this like this buzz around you because you feel very energetic and everything's all tingly and exciting. That is your ojas, basically. And when we have weak ojas, when we have depleted ojas in Ayurveda, don't get too caught up on the names, but that is when our immune system gets weakened, and then we're more susceptible to colds, we're more susceptible to sleeping issues, we're more susceptible to cravings, all that kind of stuff. So it's a really good indication in your life if there's one of the three pillars that's out of alignment. Sometimes it's we've got babies, so we're not sleeping very well, or we are single, so maybe we're not getting that pleasure, that desire that we crave as humans, or maybe it's the food. Maybe we are, because we're not getting the cravings and the pleasure that we get from love and connection, we're going towards food for that comforting area. And and a bit of the psychology behind it is when we get out of balance, when we have these little signs of becoming out of balance, whether it be a cold, whether it be fatigue, whether it be sleeping issues, these are all signs that your body is out of alignment in some way. And often or not, we wait until those signs get bigger and bigger and bigger, And then unfortunately we get sick for a week or so because we haven't listened to the signs earlier. So maybe just have a think right now, and you can put in the chats, in the chat box, what area of your life is maybe lacking, and that will be a really good indication of what you need to work on for your immune system. If you think about in Ayurveda, we have the chakras, so we have the energy points along the body, and this is just basically dormant energy that functions all of our immune system. You could see it as like kind of like the messenger between the nervous system, between our digestion. It's basically showing us where everything's flowing. And when one chakra, one thing's out of alignment, there'll be a blockage in that area. So for example, if we have a blockage in our sacral chakra, our second chakra, that is the energy of creation. So an amazing way to build our immune system is to basically do certain lifestyle practices like yoga, breathing, meditation, kundalini yoga, to basically awaken that second chakra, because that is where we create life. And that creative life force that we have inside of our chakra is also where all of our immune system is. So if we can basically unlock any blockages in that area through certain techniques, then we can build our immune system. And that is the path of kind of yoga. Yoga is there to help us with the body and purify the mind. And then Ayurveda is there to undo the blockages of the body. So ways that we can really help our immune system is through our digestion. And Ayurveda is like huge on digestion. It's like your digestion, 80% of our immune system is in our digestion. And Ayurveda and yoga have been saying this for thousands of years, is that if we have weak agni or weak fire, if you think of your digestion as a fire, if you put food on it and the fire, the agni is weak, the food is going to burn, or the food won't get cooked, so it's going to rot and it's going to smell. If you don't take your bin out of your house for a long time, it starts to rot and it starts to smell, and that's exactly what's happening in our digestive system. If we all have those people that can eat anything they want and they just don't put on any weight. So in Ayurvedic terminology, that would be like a pitta dosha. So they got very fast metabolism, and sometimes that's good and sometimes that's too fast. So if you think about putting in food and you get diarrhea straight away, that means you're not absorbing the nutrients in your foods. That means you're not taking the nutrients and turning it into energy, into ojas. So that is going to show up as a weakened immune system. Same as if you have water retention, constipation, bloating. That basically means that we're still, the channels inside of our body, the meridians, the chakras, they're blocked in some way. And this is all going to basically cause compromised immune system. So everyone worrying about their immune system right now with the coronavirus is, a lot of the time, if we haven't looked after our digestion, they say in Ayurveda, we are only as old as our agni. So if we do the right practices, and I'm going to tell you a couple of things that you can do right now to start implementing in your life to then build your digestive fire. So you'll start to notice you can absorb the nutrients from the food better. And they're very simple tools that you can add. So yeah, we have to really put a massive emphasis on our digestion. And a couple of tips I'm going to share with you that have really helped me and my clients when I work with them for 6 or 8 weeks is basically coming back to basics. Ayurveda is all about seasonal eating. It's all about kind of like the ancestral diet. A lot of us are moving around, living in different worlds. I'm living in Bali. I'm from England originally. And a lot of us, we have everything available. We can get an avocado in winter if we want to, or we can get some magical kind of fruit in England. And obviously, in terms of the digestive process, our bodies are designed to adapt with nature. That's the ecosystem that we live in. So if we're eating, for example, fruit in the middle of winter, that is going to cause a blockage in our channels. So that is going to affect our digestion levels. So, we have certain types of enzymes to break down, for example, gluten for pasta, heavier types of food in winter. But if we're eating those types of foods in winter, and, you know, like fruits and stuff like that, we naturally wouldn't have the enzymes to break it down. So seasonal eating is a massive one in Ayurveda. Eating in accordance to the nature, in accordance to what's growing, what's around. You know, a lot of the time we are exporting things from all kinds of different countries. So yeah, just have a think, like, what kind of foods are you eating? Are they, you know, are they heavier foods in summer, or are they, you know, are they very fresh vegetables and fruits and winter and in summer? So it's really important that we're eating, you know, lighter in the summer and then heavier naturally in the winter, because we do need to have a little bit more sustenance, a bit more heaviness to us to sustain us. So an amazing way to know that if you're basically eating too much. So if you think of your digestion, you know, if you think your hands, God gave us hands. It's amazing, they gave us hands, and they're exactly the size of our stomach. So if you just put your hands, your exact hands are what you can basically process in one meal. So a lot of us overeat, and they say the biggest thing that's going to cause us digestive issues, which obviously will relate to our immune system, because 80% of our immune system's in our gut, is overeating, and we like to overindulge. And
absolutely,
yeah, and yoga and Ayurveda,
yeah,
I think we can all agree we like to overindulge. Not just me, I hope not. And what happens is, and I'm talking quite quickly because I want to get as much information to you as possible. When we eat too much, our body has enough acid to break down a third of food, a third of liquid. And a lot of the time we're filling our digestion or our stomach way too full. So basically the food sits and rots. Remember, like I said, like a bin, it rots like in the bin, it starts to smell. And then we form ama, which is basically in Ayurveda toxicity in the body. And this toxicity, it's when you get like the smelly farts, it's when you get the sugar craving, it's when you feel lethargic, and then you have to eat more sugary shit to kind of give you the energy. You know, you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, you just feel depleted. I don't know if any of you can relate to this. But that is when we have ama in the body. So, you know, a big part of my work is doing the digestive cleanses to clear that ama. So fasting, you know, intermittent fasting is an amazing way to build your immune system, eating between like 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Another amazing way to know when you're acne or when you've eaten too much is you have a little burp. It's very subtle. It's not like, bleh. It's like a very subtle burp. And just notice next time you eat your breakfast or your lunch, wherever you are in the world, just be super present and notice when you have that little burp. And that is your stomach, very intelligent way of saying, Bryre, you've eaten too much, don't eat anymore. Often we eat more because we're not present. And then we have a second burp, and then we have a third burp. And then when we have the third burp, that means we are completely full. We can't get in any more stuff. And we don't have enough acid to break down the enzymes. That's going to affect the production of our hormones, of our immune system, you know, all of our good happy hormones like serotonin, that kind of stuff. So just have an understanding when you're eating, you know, everything that we eat is going to affect our immune system. So even if you just take this away from today, just being really present when you're eating, what you're eating, you know, the season that you're eating, are you eating within the seasons? So an amazing way to build your immune system is to have vitamin D, especially if you live in like a colder climate. Like my partner and I, we don't eat meat, so we have B12, and we also have vitamin C shots. You can get the injections, or you can take tablets, that kind of stuff. I really recommend, especially if you live in like Germany, like a lot of my clients do, vitamin D, like a supplement of vitamin D. And the majority of flu season is in winter because people are lacking in vitamin D and melatonin. And that is related to, remember I said about the sleep cycle, you know, the natural circadian rhythm of our body is going to bed when the sun goes down. But now we stay up till late. We have all these Wi-Fi's, and I'm super guilty too, being on our phones till late. So we have this like fake light that's basically not allowing the production of melatonin. And there's lots of studies done of melatonin, thyroid issues. If any of you suffer from any thyroid issues, that's because you have a decrease in melatonin levels. So it's really important that you're eating the right types of food. You can type in on Google, like, what foods have melatonin in. but also supplementing with vitamin D, vitamin C, melatonin. It's an amazing way to just give your energy that boost of antioxidants and supplementation. Also, an amazing way to boost your immune system is to decrease any inflammatory food. So inflammation is probably the root cause of all disease. And this begins in the gut, leaky gut, SIBO, all of these health issues related to the gut. And then later, if we don't sort it out when it gets to the first stage, that's when we start to have more issues like arthritis, chronic health issues. So it's really important that we get the gut in order. We start to look at our gut as basically the most important thing in our life. And, we start aging soon as our digestive fire burns out and we can't digest our food anymore. That's when we start getting wrinkly. That's when we start aging, and basically our health is declining. And, we can go 10 or 20 years without giving a shit about our digestion or, all these things that we're talking about, poo, and noticing when your body's out of alignment. And it gets to, we get to 30, 40, 50, and that's when we start to see the health issues. So, Ayurveda and Chinese medicine is all preventative stuff. Like, how can we prevent this from happening? And not wait until we get sick to then have to pop pills and, and then get very stressed and put even more stress and fear on our immune system, which is the biggest cause for our immune system to be out of balance. And before I finish, I'm just going to quickly give you some amazing things that you can get online. I really recommend a tongue scraper. I know a lot of my clients have already got one, because the tongue is an amazing way to see if you have toxins in the body. So every morning you go like this in the mirror and you see how it's amazing. So your tongue is going to have the indication of if you've got ama in the body. So if you have like a white tongue, if you have a white tongue, that means you've got toxins in the body and it's trying to get rid of them. So this is going to help the digestive process and help you understand your body. Like, what, I can feel that I'm out of alignment, and then I check my tongue and then I realize that actually makes sense. So invest in a very amazing way. Copper is probably the best. Copper is an amazing way for the immune system. Drinking out of copper cup, my client said, is also an amazing way to regenerate cells. Neti pod. So this is an amazing Ayurvedic tool to cleanse the sinuses. And obviously the biggest food source is oxygen. And we forget that as humans. So we really want to make sure that we're basically cleansing the nose. And if you have me on Instagram, I have videos on how to do this, or you can type it in YouTube, Neti pod. So this is an amazing way to clear out the sinuses. It's great right now, especially if you're worried about any pathogens, viruses. Just cleansing the nose with water and salt, a couple times a week is an amazing way to actually unblock and prevent sinuses, allergies, that kind of stuff. And then we also have, I'm sure you've touched base on the dry skin brushing. This is an amazing way to basically circulate our immune system. So our lymphatic system is what drains out all of our toxins in our body. And if we have stagnant lymph flow, then we're going to feel very lethargic. If we're not moving, if we're in a cold environment, this is going to really help. So just brushing your skin in a circular motion around the heart. This is where the lymph node is. Obviously, we're having like deodorant, like toxic deodorant under our lymph. That can be really harmful over a period of our time. So making sure that using natural products is the best for our immune system. Getting rid of any shitty chemicals that we put on our face, so, like even perfume, that really affects with our endocrine system, which is our hormonal system. For women, that's why we have, menopausal symptoms, we have missed periods. And, if our hormones are out of whack, if we're not having a regular bleed and eliminating the toxins in our womb, that's also going to have a massive impact on our immune system. So it's a really good thing to check into, is are you having a regular cycle? But yeah, well, I could go from hours on this.
Me too.
I'm very passionate about it. So we talked that for a whole hour. Then I hope you've got a lot of good information. And like I said, follow Candice and I. We post a lot of content on our Instagrams, on our email marketing list. So we do give and share lots of videos and stuff like that. So if you feel like you want to, you know, keep in touch and learn, absorb, you know, because this is the best way to learn, is to empower ourselves, not give our power away to anyone else. It's to prevent this from happening. And often or not, we don't realize how important our health is until it's taken away. And if any of you have had a health issue, you can probably, you know, relate to this. So I would love to answer before we sign off. If you guys have any questions, type them in the box, and I'll definitely we'll try and answer them before we leave. We've still got 10 minutes, so feel free to pop them in the type box. Or if you want to, you know, come on, I can unmute your video. And while we're waiting for questions, Candice, can you share if any of the beautiful people want to get in touch with you and learn about your, you know, Chinese medicine a bit more in this? You know, you do amazing sound therapy and sound journeys. I'd love to, can you explain what offerings you have so we can support one another through these, support each other through these.
Sure, darling. Yeah, my business is called 3 Jewels Acupuncture. I'll put that into the feed there. You can have a look at what I do. And yeah, I'm not holding any sound journeys at the moment because we're not allowed to get together in groups at the moment. So I'm just doing one-on-one at this point, but it might not be as easy soon. I have just seen, so yeah, you can follow me on Instagram as well, Facebook. That's all there. Just looking back at some questions that have come through. It's slow.
Also, we've actually recorded this, so if you guys would like the recording, then you're more than welcome. Let me know and I'll email it to you. I'll put it on YouTube, so you can, you know, go back on your notes and just have a read through and everything like that if you want to.
Just looking back at something Jester has asked for the Rona, specific tips that we can share. I think everything has been really valid in terms of that. Like, I love the brushing. It's really great for the lymph in that lung space. I love that. I can also suggest some points on the body that are really fantastic to support the lung. So I can send diagrams, but lung 7 is on the wrist. I can't show you, but it's on the wrist near the thumb. Lung 7, sorry. Oh, I'll have to send photos, but lung 7 and 9 are really great to support the lung. Lung 10 is really great for congestion, and you can just massage it. It doesn't have to have acupuncture needles in it, though that is probably the best way. But yeah, if you wanted to massage these points, you can look these up online. I just don't have any diagrams ready and prepared. Stomach 36 is the biggest immune point used, and it's just below the knee, just below the patella on the outside of the what am I saying? Not the femur, the tibia. It's on the left side of the tibia, the outer side of the tibia. I was just massaging it actually this morning in bed when I woke up. So just doing some massage, just really warming that point. And yeah, lung 1, which is on the apex of your, just underneath your clavicle. Lung 1 is just a little depression, little hole underneath your clavicle, so that's up in the corner near your shoulder. It's fantastic to massage in there, and even give it a little bang, like hitting it a little bit is yeah, really supportive to get the lung moving. So they would be, yeah, my tips that you can do for yourself. As well as, you know, keeping your diet really clear and clean. Filtered water is a must. And yeah, lots of garlic really supports the lung, garlic and ginger. Yeah, just, yeah. And the same in Ayurveda.
Yeah, turmeric's an adaptogenic, so it adapts to your body, a bit like ashwagandha herb. They're really amazing. They adapt your bodies if it needs more calming or hormone balancing. Ashwagandha, I can type it in the thing, or rhodiola, the Ayurvedic herbs. Cool. Does anyone have any questions? What do you think about ice cold bath as an immune booster on Ayurvedic and teaching disaster? I mean, from my own perspective, I believe that when we can, if we're healthy, I would say if we have a cold or anything like that, I wouldn't put our body in a low temperature, just because a lot of the time we're having a fever or something when we have any inflammatory response, because our body needs to be raised to get rid of any pathogens and bacteria. But I think it's amazing. Cold showers, cold baths, I think it's such a great way to support the immune system. A lot of like my teachers, Wim Hof, and other teachers that do breath work, that kind of stuff, they do a lot of special breath techniques whilst they do the ice. So I think if you can keep the mind calm, and if you do it on a regular basis, and obviously just tune into your own body, maybe not when you're on your cycle is probably best, but just when you're feeling good and energized is a complementary for your circulation. And I forgot to add, like, there's so many spices that you can use. So for our immune system, like clove, cayenne pepper, cardamom, basil, cumin, fresh ginger, parsley, rose, they're all amazing ways to reduce ama, so reduce that toxicity in the body. They stimulate, very antibacterial, boost circulation, very detoxifying. So if you can add a little bit of spice into your foods and just to your vegetables and your soups, it's an amazing way to cleanse the system from toxins. And like I said, fasting, breath work through the nose, doing some breath. Actually, breath work through the nose is more powerful than through the mouth, because it stimulates rejuvenation and also stimulates something in the lung that helps boost our immune system. I can't remember the exact thing, but so breathing through the nose is an amazing way, just conscious belly breathing. Do you have anything else to say, Candice?
My mum actually just messaged and let me know about a formula that I've been prescribing. Thanks, Mum. So yeah, I do prescribe herbal formulas, and they're very affordable, usually like $10 a week for, they're $15 each, but they last a bit longer than a week. So you can, ask me anything about herbs. My beautiful boyfriend just also messaged about colloidal silver. So he also supplies colloidal silver, which is a fantastic, antibacterial, and it even helps with parasites as well in the body, in the gut, and helps with absorption in that way. So it eliminates the parasites, and then you can absorb more nutrients in your body. So you can also contact me if you're local to the Bryre Shire or the Gold Coast area, and I can get you some really affordable colloidal silver. So yeah. And any other questions at all?
I just wanted to add before we leave, obviously these like times of feeling stressed and fearful, I think it's a massive thing of like, the rhythm of nature. We're all in flow. So a lot of the time it becomes stagnant when we come into that fear mindset. So it's really important that we can, stay in that vibration, like dance, sing, connect with like-minded people, like doing these webinars. I think it's so powerful to basically realize that we are all connected in this process. And when we come from a place of separation, that's when the ego is, when the reptilian brain is like, oh, I want the last toilet roll. So I think it's so important that we connect, and we actually go into that state of like fearfulness. Like, at the end of the day, we're all very super lucky to have this amazing connection with each other and to have food and family and friends. So I think we're very fortunate So just having gratitude for the, you know, the unfortunate times, but we are very lucky to be here and to be all connected to each other. And I'm actually launching a webinar every second week, so twice a month, for lovely men and women, but I get mainly women in my sessions, so where we can come and connect, and it's kind of like a platform where we share and learn. I'll be facilitating, but I want to bring people that kind of want to get into the webinar, they want to kind of get into the online space. I'll be teaching how you can basically energize and maximize your potential through Ayurveda. So you'll be learning a lot about Ayurveda and holistic ways to detox the body, but also a collaboration of how we can come together and use our resources to basically build a tribe of people that we can all, you know, like I said, the receiving and the flowing of nature. The way that we do this is by building a tribe of people to connect with. So when we need something like colloidal silver or when we need something like a yoga class online, then we have that community. So I'll be facilitating that, and I'm offering you guys an amazing way to connect in. If you'd like to know more, then feel free to message me. But it's over 3 months, and it's 6 sessions, and that will be 150 euros for the 6 weeks. So it's obviously a group session, so there'll be quite a few people in it. But it's an amazing way if you want to connect in with other like-minded people and talk about certain topics, and just kind of build this community and tribe, because I think a lot of us are going onto the online space. So yeah, if you'd like to know more about that, I'd happily share with you by email. And yeah, Candice, is there anything you'd like to say about what you're making?
Yeah.
You did meet Aki
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's hard to do online though, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. It's not in other ways though, so that's why I do online coaching as well. So that's over 6 weeks usually, with 3 sessions involved. Each are usually about 2 hours, and yeah, the first session is really just creating a new language, a new framework that you can work with while knowing your body with the 5 elements. So like I've been talking about, you know, wood, water, earth, fire, and metal. They're elements that are within our nature as well. So like when our body's feeling rigid and brittle and, you know, pain and cracking, it's because we're lacking water, and sort of working with our body to nourish it. And, you know, when the wood element doesn't have enough water in it, then we feel like that in our body, a lot of pain and rigidity. But we want the tree to feel strong, and we want the roots to be in deep. And yeah, with that, we also need the strong earth energy, so the tree doesn't fall out of the earth. And all of these beautiful analogies kind of just stream through when I'm working with my clients, and it's just a really poetic way to sort of source energy and strength through that 5 elements and see our nature and how we operate, because some people are so much more fire and some are more water, and they're underdeveloped in, you know, their metal, and you know, their earth isn't supporting them. They're not creating boundaries that are healthy in their life, and so I just sort of go on and on like that. Yeah, so anyone can contact me via my website.
WhatsApp him.
Pardon?
Maybe type your website so everyone can connect.
Yeah, I think I did. I'm just checking in. So yeah, that's the best way to contact me. Just doing it now.
Gonna get the self-promotion in.
Yeah. And there's Bryres as well. Yeah, so yeah, I just really wanted to just recap on what you said too, Bryre, is just that we all stick together and really promote joy and love as the highest vibration and the most healing vibration. And if we just keep that really, you know, locked inside of ourselves and with everyone around us, I think it's just going to really help us through these uncertain and unpredictable times. And yeah, I feel really, really lucky and privileged to be connecting with you all here tonight. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
It's really lovely.
Erin, Maggie, Frenchie. We love you. Yeah, thank you.
Love you. Love you all. Thank you so much.
Getting together. It's amazing. Super cool. I can't wait to see you guys more, and we do this more often.
Absolutely.
Now we're on lockdown, so we have to do it.
Yeah. That's right. Woohoo.
We do any lockdown dances. Maxie sent me one. Erin sent me one. Other people sent me one. So, girl, they're both my beautiful clients. Very amazing.
Oh, nice.
Love seeing you. And that's the thing, you know they're growing when they're sending you videos of them dancing. I'm like, yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Girls, we love you. Thanks for joining.
We love you all. Thank you, everybody.
And boys.
Bye. See you soon. Bye.